Hey, everybody. Welcome to Everything Philly Podcast, your platform for information and entertainment and discussing some hard hitting topics. I'm Sharif,
Hello, Rob.
and today we have a special guest, Mr. McCoy Hines. McCoy is from Fulton Bank. He is the financial center manager and he's also a diverse business advocate. Welcome, McCoy.
No, thank you for having me. Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for putting this together and having me.
We appreciate you coming. We had one meeting at the bank, and we just decided to pop on, drop in, show us some love.
I think we had two. The first time is when you guys met me. I had one leg.
Yes.
Oh, you're on the scooter.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was on my scooter with my Achilles injury.
Yes. That was probably rough.
Oh,
Achilles injury.
yeah. They say after you get past a certain age, you're supposed to stop doing certain things.
Mhm.
I just didn't listen. I just kept trying to ball out like these young guys here, but I'm not like them. So
Did you learn your lesson?
I got humbled. Yes, God humbled me and put me to rest.
Absolutely.
No, that's a fight every day.
Yeah.
I mean, your body is telling you no, but your mind is telling you can still do it. You can
Mhm.
still do it.
Mhm.
And you could do it till it's time to heal up. You'll find out your bones don't heal as fast as they used to.
Right, because honestly, you're really as young as you feel. So
Right.
if you feel as if you're at a young age, you'll want to go out and do all the things that you
Yep.
really want to do.
Trust me, I go through that every day. I wake up thinking I'm Superman. As
I'm-
soon as you walk out the door, it's kryptonite everywhere. I'm falling.
But I will say you are Superman though. You do a lot of things. The landscaping, the podcasting, the real estate. You're the true definition of a Superman.
I think I'm a true definition of a Jamaican. I always say the Jamaicans got 5, 6 jobs. That's me all day.
Well,
But why I
I'm
don't have no
Jamaican-
money then?
I'm Jamaican too, so look at
Oh,
that.
really?
We look at that. We're family already. We didn't
Okay.
even know that.
Oh, hey, I'm happy. Maybe this side of my family can show me how to make some money. I got plenty of properties and plenty of businesses, but I don't got no money.
Well, that is why I'm here. That is why I'm here to be able to assist you, not just you, but your audience, and to assist with helping and navigate the way to show people how to get access to capital for their businesses.
And that's what I think I need. I ain't gonna say I think, that's what I know I need, because you tell me about a bank, I'm gonna sit here and say, that's why I put my money at, to keep it safe. Am I
Nah.
earning anything? I ain't earning nothing off of it. It's just,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah. So that's where we try to separate ourselves as a community based bank. This is not like a bigger financial institution where you put your money in there and they say goodbye and they never see you again, right? At Fulton, our goal is to really help you get from point A to point B. So when you come in and you open your business account with us, we have advocates that are inside of the branch, like myself, that assist you with coming up with a business plan, also showing you ways to get access to capital, different grants that are within the city to help your business thrive and grow, as opposed to just sitting here and not really doing anything. Because we're not able to impact your life and actually shape and change your life if you just come into the bank. We never actually have a conversation with you until that time is needed to have that conversation. But oftentimes it's too late at that point when you need money.
it's always too late. Like I say, this was a whole different experience for me, because normally you go in the bank, you talk to the cashier, you tell her, I want to open up an account. They say how much money you got. You give them their money. They give you a card. They give you a bank book. Give you a few checks. Okay, good. Bye bye. See you later. Have a nice day. You guys actually have appointments. You come in and you sit down. You talk and you offer your services.
Mhm.
And that experience was brand new to me. It was an eye opener. It's like I couldn't wait. Like, let's hurry up and get back down there, because this is an opportunity I may need, but this is also an opportunity for my podcast, because most of our people don't know nothing about grants or, all the things you guys offer.
Mhm.
So
Just banking in general.
banking in general.
So when we look at like financial institutions, that's why it's very important for us to do our due diligence, right? Do our research on the bank, see if this bank makes sense for me. Um, a lot of people just naturally walk into a bank simply because that bank has its name. They're a big corporation, they're a big organization, so of course they're going to fit me. But in reality, there's banks have products and services that are specialized for different individuals. It's just like clothing, right? What do you need? Do you need the Gucci shoes or that Gucci bag, or do you just need a purse right now, right? So that's the same kind of mindset you have to have when you come towards banking. It's when you're banking with a financial institution, does this bank help me? Is this bank going to be there to get me from point A to point B?
Mhm.
Right? Am I able to speak with someone to help me develop a business plan for my business because I've never started a business before and I need help with this? How can I get help from that financial institution?
It's definitely a major shift from your traditional banks. I've been with the same bank for over 25 years,
Mhm.
and I was impressed by Fulton and the fact that you were so involved in the community and helping the minority, um, bringing that awareness, which led me to the decision to
Mhm.
transfer over from the
Yeah.
bank that I've been with
Yeah.
for, like I said, for 25 years. Um, in the Black community, banking is almost taboo, or it used to be, because back in the day, banks
Mhm.
weren't to be trusted, and the banks were your safes in the house, or
Mhm.
I remember my grandma, between the mattresses
Right.
was all her money,
The sneaker box.
Yeah, the sneaker
or
box
something
under
like
the
that,
bed.
because it was like, what's the point of putting it in the bank in someone else's hands when I can just stash it at home?
Mhm.
So the community didn't know about the banking benefits, interest and savings accounts,
Mhm.
and more to just making a deposit or cashing a check because your job gave you a check and this is the bank that is drawn off of, so you have to go to that bank.
Mhm.
So I was impressed by the fact that Fulton actually steps out in the community to bring that awareness of the banking benefits
Mhm.
to a sector that would have otherwise not known about financial literacy
So
piece.
I think you brought up a very interesting point, right? You mentioned that traditionally African Americans, we have been in a place where we've been taught not to trust a bank. Not just taught, but it's just been something that's been happening to us. If we think back during the times of the Tulsa massacre, when we had some of the most successful, thriving Black communities, and those communities were burned down to the ground, those successful Black doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, they lost all of their money because they were in the bank and the banks burned down and they didn't necessarily have those insurance. And that's just an idea that was passed on over generations and generations, telling us not to trust financial institutions. That's where I wanted to be able to come in and shift and change that mindset and really be in the community. So I really pride myself and I try to be at every community event as possible, but not only be at every community event, but also create community events so that we can show people that Fulton Bank is really here, trusting for the community and helping the community
Well, I give you props because you wasn't just at that event. You was getting around on that one leg in that
He
scooter.
was everywhere.
And it was a nice little crowd. You was getting through,
Yeah.
making your presence known. Far as me, I think coming into the banking world, my opinion was based on where's the closest ATM.
Hmm.
Like, do I have to travel miles,
Hmm.
or do I have to actually go to the bank to
Hmm.
go to an ATM if I want my money right then and there? So, like I said, I'm a blind fool when it comes to banking, and you guys have opened my eyes a lot. So I give you ups.
So it's not
Kudos.
just you though. That mindset is not just you. That's why I mentioned earlier when I was saying people just naturally walk into a bank because they want the bank that's necessarily the closest proximity to them. However, that's not necessarily going to be the case for everyone, right? Every financial institution has online banking. We're in 2024. You can do a mobile deposit. You don't necessarily need to go to an ATM if that bank doesn't serve you, right? If a bank is telling you that, hey, you need to keep a minimum balance of $500 in your account at all times in order to avoid a monthly service fee, is that the bank for you if you can't keep $500 and you only get access to it because it's the one that's closest in walking distance for you?
Right.
Or do you choose a financial institution that has no minimum balance to maintain, right? However, if you need to get money from your account, you have to walk a little bit further. See, now that's just a difference. And that's where I mentioned we have to do our due diligence on financial institutions and the products to see if the product fits my specific need.
Yeah, because them $25 maintenance fees be killing you. For
Yeah.
It kills a lot of people, honestly.
it kills you.
It kills a lot of people. And if we're not mindful of that, right? $25 a month, that's a lot of money for the year. That's car insurance,
Yes.
right? That's car payment, right? If you let's say in your situation you banked with that financial institution for 20 years and you're paying $25 a month for 20 years now, that's a down payment for something real nice, right?
Yes.
That's a
Right.
vacation to the Bahamas or
I
to
don't like the
Jamaica.
analogy. Stop. Get that out of my head because I'm like, really? But I mean, it's definitely facts. That's
Yeah,
definitely for
yeah.
sure.
So when you came into banking, did you come into banking with this knowledge that this is what you wanted to be a part of, or was it just a job in the beginning?
No, I would say this is something that was true to me. I didn't grow up around money. I
Okay.
didn't grow up around money, and I wanted to understand like how does money work. So I'm an immigrant. I was born in Jamaica. My mom is from Jamaica. When my mom came here, my mom essentially gave up her life in Jamaica, um, she was an entrepreneur. She ran a shop where she was buying and selling goods, and she had me when she was young, and she decided to give that up to come to America to have a better opportunity. Once my mom came here, got herself settled, that's when I came to the States. And when I came to America, when you live outside of America, just the mindset of what you think America is, you think America is going to be this wonderful place where no one experiences poverty,
Right.
right? Everything in America is so good because there's so many opportunities that's out there. And while that is true, right? In that space, you don't get to, when you're in a foreign country, you don't think about the hardships that you have to do to actually get to that level to live that American dream. So when I came here and I saw my mom um, have to struggle to to get money and struggle to work, and there were times where she didn't have money to pay the rent, right? That we didn't have money to buy food in the house. For us, oodles and noodles in Jamaica is corned beef and white rice, right?
Mhm.
For us, that's our poor meal,
Right.
or or like flitters or something like that, which is just
Dumpling.
like dumpling, right? It's just flour and dough
Mhm.
because that's all you can eat, or the chicken back because you can't afford the chicken breast. So being able to have those experiences, um, I saw how crippling it was for not just my mom, but like the people in my surrounding. Um, how we just didn't know and understand how money worked. And my mom was a nanny for a very wealthy family. So I was living in the hood, but then whenever my mom took me to work with her, I was in this big mansion. Like,
Wow.
wow, wow. It was like people live differently. I thought how I was living was okay, but then I realized as I then went on to college and got older, I realized I grew up poor. I grew up very poor. Um, so in that experience, that's where I wanted to um, understand how money worked, so that I'll be able to give back to people who look like
Interesting. So, because most foreign people I talk to, once they get over here and they get comfortable in the states,
me. Hmm.
you start to hear them talk like, "Shoot, you guys are really lazy. Like you got so comfortable that you don't understand what it's like to not have anything. Like the opportunities is there, but we don't take advantage of them. From someone's coming from a poor country and they come over here and they go hard at it. I mean, it's like I've been there before.
Hmm.
I understand what it's like over here, and I can get that unless I want to be like you guys or
Hmm.
whatever the case may be. So, did you see that? Like, you
Oh
had that
yeah.
thought?
Oh yeah. So I actually had a very intense conversation. I think I lost a couple family members because of this, because they brought up that same mindset, saying African Americans are lazy, and I had to fight that. I was like, stop. That's not that's exactly what we're not going to do, right? Because what we need to realize is it's a mindset thing, right? You coming from a foreign country, you're looking at this place as an opportunity to excel. African Americans that are here, they've seen that opportunity to excel. However, they've had to experience so many backlash, so much triumph to actually get there, to the point where they don't they don't have that same drive and that
You had
energy.
that
So
fight.
it's a mindset, because when you're from a foreign country, you don't see race, but here in America, you do see race,
Right.
right? you when you apply for that job and you don't get it, but you see someone else apply for the same job and they get it. It's not that you're lazy; it's that you're just tired of fighting that struggle.
Mhm.
So sometimes you just don't take advantage of those opportunities simply because it's difficult to overcome that mindset shift. And I don't blame um, African Americans, or I don't blame anyone for not wanting to fight that fight.
Well, I think it's a little deeper than that because okay, you say you don't really see racism or go through that at home.
Oh no, I didn't say I didn't. I said um, I said people from a foreign country, they don't see they look at race and racism as an excuse for why African Americans can't excel,
Okay,
whereas African Americans, they are experiencing it and it's invisible.
I think it's kind of growing up. I think it's kind of I can't think of the word for it, but it's embedded in our head
Hmm.
that we're gonna always be less than
Hmm.
the Caucasians,
Right.
and that kind of puts a defeat in our world because every time you turn around, the person you're answering to is a Caucasian. The people that's your race or whatever is right beside you, pulling you down so they can get to the top or get a little ahead of you, and that kind of defeats the purpose of the fight because like I'm never going to get nowhere because this person's going. Oh, is oh to me is a lot, and I don't even want to get into it on this topic because it's a whole different world for me.
Oh yeah, no, for sure, and I certainly understand that. And I could say something about Fulton, right? That's why I really love what I do as a financial center manager because my boss hired me, and when he hired me, my boss is Caucasian. He's a white man, but he really practices diversity and inclusion. Every Monday, we read a book about diversity and inclusion. That's the first time I've seen a manager really um, sit down and have that open dialogue about what people face and struggle inside of the workplace, and not just inside of the workplace, but just in life in general. So I do believe that there are um, white Americans that are advocating for us in some spaces
Oh,
as
truly,
well too.
truly. But how often do you actually get a chance to interact with those who do?
I think it could be depending on the space that you work in. Um, like I said, where I work right now, I my direct boss is a white man, and he creates opportunities for me. He opens that conversation up to have that open dialogue. If we look at our management team for Fulton in Philadelphia, it's very diverse.
Okay.
There are black managers like myself throughout the Philadelphia community that are doing the same thing that I'm doing. So there's opportunities there within um, the company that I work for right now for Fulton. I can't say that for other financial institutions that I've
Mhm.
worked for, but for where I am at right now, I do feel as if my voice is heard, and I
Well,
do feel as if
well, I believe that's what set you guys aside. That's what set Fulton aside, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to have you here today because you're more in tune to what's really going on
mhm,
in our communities.
mhm,
And like I said, I think you guys actually not only see but understand the ignorance that we have in our
absolutely,
communities, and that's the beautiful thing about what you guys do.
absolutely. Thank you, and that's why I wanted to be here today to have that open dialogue.
How can you, so going back to, banking being taboo,
Mhm,
it's a new world now,
mhm.
a lot more opportunities. How do you, how do you bring those from the community who may have been jaded by that mindset, to help them understand? Because sometimes it's hard to bring them in to help them understand, the banking, the benefits, how it can help, how important it is talking about credit, just financial literacy. How does Fulton bring, grasp those who, maybe aren't aware or maybe are still on the fence with the whole banking? Because nowadays banking is important, credit
Mhm,
is important,
mhm,
building those relationships with those institutions are important, and understanding, like you said, money in general is super important.
mhm.
So how are you bringing them into?
I think that's just how we met, right? We create events And this is something that I do often. I create events. I have a list of events that I want to partner with. I want to be in the Hispanic community. I want to be in the Black community. I want to be in. I want to work with state representatives on creating financial literacy. You'll see me at the juvenile center educating the young kids that are in the juvenile center. Like, hey, when you leave this place, there's an opportunity for you. Let me teach you about financial literacy and let me share my knowledge with you. That's how we try to tackle that problem. I'm very much a feet on the streets. Like sometimes I walk around in the West Philly area just to, hey, you're a business owner. I want to talk to you. How's your cash flow? How is your banking relationship going? Do you have any specific needs that you may need? When was the last time you spoke to someone about your banking relationship? And that's how I'm able to make an impact on the community.
Word of mouth. Word of mouth is the best advertisement, and especially when you show the actions behind your words is important because talking to someone and just giving them words all the time just isn't enough. If you can't show them how that this is going to benefit you is it's just a dead end issue. You guys actually, I'm gonna say you because you're in Dawn, actually really gets into you. You can tell when someone's just talking to someone actually believe in what they're saying.
Right.
And when talking to you guys, I actually believe in everything you're saying because it's almost like a passion. It's not a job. It's coming from your heart that this is what I want to do. I want to help you establish yourself to get to the next level. And by you guys hitting the entrepreneurs and the minority groups, we become your advertisement because every time we run across someone like my landscaping company, now I know that I have 6 employees that I have to bring to Fulton Bank because this is how we're going to do business. You guys can get your what is it called?
What, the free checking accounts?
Checking accounts and direct pay,
Direct deposit.
direct deposits straight through this bank without worried about all the overheads that you got to go through. And plus, there's a hidden benefit. 15 times you use your debit because you know you're going to use your debit all
Right.
day, every day.
Right.
Especially somebody like Lean that go to the breakfast spot every morning.
You're going to get that $200.
You get that $200. So
Yeah.
it's free money
Yeah.
for just using your debit.
Yeah.
For spending your money, you're getting free money. Like, how can you turn that down?
Yeah. So one thing I try to do when I sit down with my team and I talk with them, I ask them, are you looking for just a job or are you looking for a career? Because if you're just looking for a job, that's not the type of person that I need next to me because there's no passion behind it. If you're looking to build a career and really help people, those are the type of people that I hire to be on my team because that's going to make the difference, right?
Yes.
I tell my team every day, if someone walks into this bank and tells us that they have bad credit, and we let them walk out of the door without providing them with a solution to help overcome that bad credit, we have failed that person. So we can't be afraid to ask those questions. We're in the field of banking, but in reality, this is like walking into the doctor's office, right? I need my team to ask the deep questions that they may be afraid to ask those customers. How is your credit? Do you need help with that? Right. So that we could find solutions to meet that.
Or the importance of credit, like she was saying earlier, because I grew up, if you can't pay for it, then you don't need it. Like money was always the power. Not thinking about credit, not thinking about what I actually put my Hancock on and walk out of here with or walk into owning because I didn't have the money. And so many people are afraid to follow their dreams because they don't have the capital to start it.
Right. So credit is very important. Let's just put that on. If I know we could do it like right now, but credit is very, very important. And because going back to what you said, because we've been taught not to trust banks, we don't believe that credit is important, right? I let people know your credit score is like your adult GPA. What do they tell you when you're in school? They say, hey, you need to get a good GPA because the better your GPA, the better chance of you getting into a good university. Getting in a good university allows you to get a good job. That GPA is the same thing like your credit score. The better your credit score, the greater chance of you getting approved for a loan at a lower interest rate, buying your first home, getting a car, getting a business loan to start your business, and the repercussions of not managing that is high interest rates.
Right.
Now, what would you rather? Would you rather have an 800 credit score and have to pay, let's say, $500 to borrow $10,000, or would you rather have a 600 credit score and you have to pay, let's say, $1,200 to borrow the same $10,000?
Mm,
Big difference.
big difference.
Very big difference.
Big
And
difference.
and if we don't actually monitor our credit and pay attention to it, that's how we feel as if it's always a constant struggle and a constant fight to get a good credit score. But it's very possible and very easy as long as we just manage it correctly and
Stay on top of it. Because as soon as you get out of high school, they send you them credit cards, especially if you're in college. They send you that first $500 credit card because they know
Mm.
you're going to go wild with it, mess it up, mess your credit up so they can charge you more interest rates.
Mhm.
Yep.
So
That's the trap.
even for those young adults out there, one thing I sit down with all my clients that are getting ready to go off to college, I recommend them to get a credit card, and I tell them one thing: you see that Netflix account that you have, put that up to your credit card. That's the only thing that I want you to put on your credit card right now is that Netflix account, because that's what I did. Right? I'm talking from personal experiences. What I did back when Netflix was only about, like, I think it was like $5.99 at the time. Now it's like $20. Right? That's what I used Netflix to build my credit score. I had that $500 credit card that you just mentioned. I had Netflix linked up to my credit score, to my credit card, and I got in the habit of paying that every month, every month, every month. But that was the only thing that I paid.
Right.
The only thing that I had on my credit card. My junior year in college came around. Time for me to get a car. My mom took me to the dealership. My parents didn't have the money, so I had to finance the car. And I thought my mom was going to get the car in her name and have me be a co-signer or something like that. But my mom didn't have good credit to even get me the car.
Right.
So when they ran her credit, it got declined. So she was like, "Well, let's do it in his name." Did it in my name. To me, I somehow had an 800 credit score, and I didn't even know that.
Wow.
Right? And then that's how, from getting that car loan, I kept building my credit from there, and just made sure I stayed on top of it and monitored it. So that same advice is what I provide to my young clients: use the credit card, but know how to use it.
Yes. It don't have to be big purchases.
Right.
Small purchases and pay it back.
So that's, I was just gonna ask, what would be, like, if you had to give one solid piece of advice, what would it be? And would it be the credit piece?
Yes, that's the most important piece when it comes to banking. Actually, I take that back. I think budgeting. That's the very first step. Budgeting, understanding what you can actually spend, and what you can't spend. Right.
Separating your needs from your wants.
Separating your needs from your wants. I recommend the 50-30-20 rule to all of my clients when we sit down and talk about savings and budgeting. 50% goes towards your needs, 30% goes towards your wants, because you're gonna want to save to get your hair done, save to get those new Jordans, or save to get that new Gucci purse, whatever it may be, and then 20% of that should go into savings. That's what I sit down, and when I sit down and talk to my clients, that's what we discuss.
Like 50-30-20. Y'all got that?
50-30-20. I stand by it, because we all have needs, and we have to be able to budget our money accordingly. Because if we're not budgeting, that's when we overspend. When we overspend, that's when we overdraft. When we overdraft, that's when we extend on credit. When we extend on credit, that's how we get a bad credit score. And when we have a bad credit score,
You start stressing.
that's a fact. That is a fact. Money stress is a real thing.
Heart attacks.
Yeah.
Seizures. Strokes.
Yeah. Seizures, strokes, you name it.
You name it. Bad
Right.
relationships. You
Bad-
ready to beat your made up. We don't have the money. It's your fault. everything.
See, like when your money's not right, or when your money's not right, you're just not in a good space, right? It
Everything is
creates a
fine.
lot of depression, and that's something that we don't talk about, right? That's something we
Yes.
don't talk about. Having a good grip of your money and being in a good financial standpoint actually allows you to thrive and live life a little bit better because you're not worried about, oh, I have this $9,000 credit card that I just cannot pay.
Mhm.
Right? That's a stress.
Yeah. Full control.
Right. And then when you have that $9,000 credit card that you can't pay, you go to another bank to try to get a loan. You can't get the loan because you owe. They see that you owe another financial institution money, so it creates a repeated cycle.
Mhm.
And you're going to these banks trying to get these loans, and you're getting turned down. That creates that depression, like we're talking about.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I want to be able to, um, you know, help people understand budget, help people understand credit so that we can start off on a good foot so that when the time comes for us to get lending opportunities, you're already in a good place.
Mhm.
However, if you I also help those individuals that are in a bad place get to a good place. At Fulton, we have a nonprofit organization that we work with called Operation Hope. They specialize with one-on-one coaching that can help you with creating budget plans, saving plans, starting a business plan, as well as home buyer programs to help you build wealth. And that's all for free. You don't pay for that at all.
Really?
All for free.
That's good information.
Great information. So, how can people find you?
They could find me. I'm at the bank.
At the bank.
I'm at the bank all the time. That's where I live. That's where I sleep. That's where I
Except the
breathe.
weekends.
No, no. Even on the weekends, I
Really?
do. Yeah.
Okay.
This past weekend, I was at an event in. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the name of the high school. But I was with the state representatives. Had an event at a high school. I spoke to about 25 high school boys who won a basketball tournament. I'm talking to them about how to manage their money when they eventually do get to the league and when they leave high school.
We need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's a Saturday, Sunday. I'm definitely working for sure.
That's what's
So they find you at the bank
Mhm.
or
They, I guess they could reach out to me on social media as well too. I don't really use my social media much for banking, um, but because it's good to have that that balance,
Mhm.
right? But usually um, at the bank, located at 4101 Market in West Philadelphia. It's a brand new financial center. What bank has a rooftop, right?
oh wow.
Yeah,
Nice. All right.
yeah. So do you guys have anything else for me?
No, I think that was it.
No, I think that was very, very
Yeah, it was
great
very
information.
informative. Good information for the community in general. For those who are a little on the fence about banking, I think it's excellent information for our young entrepreneurs. Um, Oftentimes, people want to start a business and they
Mhm.
just like they think you just start making the merchandise and sell it and that's it. And it's so much more to the
Right.
business. I don't.
See, I spoke with a young client today. He has a very successful business, and he did it. A lot of it was with cash, and he's trying to get a storefront, but he has no credit at all to get that extra money that he needs to get that storefront. So, to the young entrepreneurs right here, I'm a resource. I would love to sit down, meet with you guys, so that I can help you guys with building your credit from now. So 2, 3 years down the line, when you're looking to open up that store and have more merchandise, you can use credit to do that all under the LLC name that you guys have. So I am a resource, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Never be afraid to ask questions. The dumbest question is the one you don't ask.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you for coming through.
Oh,
Thank you
thank you
so
for
Look
much.
having
forward
me.
to
Thank you
doing
for having
plenty
me.
business.
And I would love to be back for other conversations, right? Maybe uh, people could write in some of their questions and their concerns, and we could do like a what should we do in this situation, right?
Y'all
Open the
hear it?
doors. Just open the doors.
Yes. Send those
Comments.
questions, those comments. reach out to Nikoi for your banking needs. We have personally started banking with them, and I'm just super excited about my future with Fulton and all the amazing things that I know you guys will do, not just for me, but for the community. Just because they just, I work with kids, and my nonprofit is working with kids,
Mhm.
and they it's an earn while you learn program, so they get paid every week
Yeah.
for participating,
Yeah.
and we teach them a little bit about financial literacy and timesheets and how to, calculate your hours and taxes. So, and they're clueless.
Right.
That's like their first experience with money. So, it's just amazing to see a bank that's committed to the community and to the younger generation.
So when you have these events, let me know. I will bring my staff. We can help you facilitate that conversation so that these young people know how to manage their money. I could bring budget sheets. I also bring food and pizza for the kids.
Oh yeah, that's
Love
always a
it.
win. Always
and
a win.
and that's just something that we do, right? So um when I sit down with businesses, I let them know like this is not our first time meeting, right? If you have a work conference or you have a team meeting and you want me to come in and discuss financial literacy, let's set that up, right? If you have an event in the community and you want Fulton Bank there, let me know. I will be there. I would help sponsor it and support it any way that I can and bring that financial literacy piece. I don't care if it's a cookout or a basketball game, I will be
Well, you'll definitely be hearing from us. We
Don't turn your phone off on us.
there.
'Cause we
My
will be
phone's
calling
never
you.
off.
We
well,
Never
we
will
got
off.
like
call you.
5 businesses, so we can definitely keep you busy.
And I love events. I love
Yes.
events.
Yeah.
I love unity.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So thank you again. It was our pleasure having you, and again, we're looking forward to doing more work together. And again, if you have any questions, comments, please feel free to reach out. And in the meantime, we thank you for joining us. Make sure that you like,
subscribe
comment,
and follow.
yes, share.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
guys.
you.